Hello, welcome everyone. In this video, I'll show you how to identify the sufficient configurations in fsQCA. This is the most important feature of fsQCA. Essentially, we apply fsQCA to identify the sufficient configurations. To check the sufficient configurations, your data have to be in fuzzy format. How to convert the crisp values into fuzzy numbers, please see my other tutorials. Let's start the procedure. So open your dataset where you have got your the fuzzy numbers. That is my QCA dataset, which consists all the fuzzy numbers, as you can see, which are between 0 and 1. So let's start the procedure by hitting Analyze and Truth Table Algorithm. So it creates a new window. The first thing first is set your outcome variable. So here on the left-hand side, you do have your all the variables. So for me, IP, which is intention to purchase electric vehicle, is my dependent variable or outcome variable. So I select IP and then set. So the outcome variable has been set. And these are the 5 conditions, for my outcome variable to predict, and I hit one after one and add them together. So yes, so now my data set is kind of ready. The outcome variable is set, and the conditions or causal conditions are there as well. Before I forget, if you want to analyze the negation of your outcome variable, such as if your outcome variable is acceptance of EV, you might be interested to check out why consumers reject EV by using this negation. In that case, you just select the outcome variable and hit set negated. The remaining procedure is same. And this is one of the strengths of fsQCA, where you can, check the negation of the outcome variable as well. Anyway, yep, let's select, let's hit OK. Now, here the fsQCA generated a table which is called the truth table. It consists of 2 to the power k rows, where k equals the number of independent variables or conditions. And each of these rows, they represent a possible combination of the conditions. As we have 5 conditions, our truth table has 32 rows. Look at the number column. The first row represents the presence of the conditions of the all the conditions except the MC, which is maintenance cost. On the contrary, if we look at the last column, last row here, yes, 2 conditions were absent and 3 conditions were present, and there was only 1 respondent who went for this combination. So, now we need to decide the frequency threshold. According to Pappas and Woodside 2021, the samples having more than 150 cases, 3 should be set as your frequency threshold. So yes, I do have the data set more than 150 sample. So I set 3 as my threshold value. So what I do, I just click any of these cell and hit edit and hit delete current row to the last. So what it will do, it will delete all the rows after having the frequency threshold of 2. Okay, so now only the minimum threshold is 3. So once we are done here, now we need to look at the row consistency value. The row consistency should be at least 0.75, and all the rows, we do have that number. of 0.75. Next, we need to look at the PRI consistency, which stands for proportional reduction in inconsistency. It is an alternative measure of the consistency. According to Pappas and Woodside 2021, the PRI consistency scores should be high and close to the raw consistency score, which is 0.7 or 0.75. Now, while the configurations with the PRI scores below 0.5 indicate significant inconsistency. I personally find it's very difficult to publish in top tier journals if the PRI consistency is not higher than 0.6. Hence, we should take it as the threshold and put 0 for the other cases. So we can, reorder the values here and say up to here, we do have the PRI consistency of 0.6. So what we're going to do, we'll put 1 against those cases. 1 means yes, and 0 means no. Meaning the rows we have put 0, these rows will not be considered when the consistency, the sufficiency check will be conducted by fsQCA. And then hit the standard analysis. Oops. Here, once we click the standard analysis, the sufficient configurations are ready for us. Here, we can present that one in a table format. And most of the journals prefer your sufficient conditions or configurations are to be presented in a table format. So for a configuration, well, most studies consider a consistency higher than 0.8 as good enough for sufficiency. But Mustafa et al., they suggest also to consider the coverage value of at least 0.2. Also, the unique coverage value should be higher than 0. Now, what these solution coverage and solution consistency mean? The overall solution coverage describes the extent to which the outcome of the interest may be explained by the configurations. And that is comparable with the R-square value reported in regression-based method. In my example, I have got 0.852 as the solution coverage. That means 85.2% of the outcome, which is the intention to purchase, has been explained with these 4 configurations. And then the solution consistency value. The solution consistency quantifies the extent to which the observation in your data set corresponds to the solution. The value of the value of solution coverage should be minimum 0.75, while 0.8 or above is suggested. And here, our solution consistency is higher than 0.8. As you might have noticed that fsQCA actually produces a complex solution and then parsimonious solution and intermediate solution. What are these? The complex solution presents all the possible combinations of the conditions. So in general, because of the number of the identified configurations can be very large, making the interpretation of the solution rather very difficult, and in most cases, impractical. For this reason, scholars, they do not suggest us to use the complex solution. Then the parsimonious solution set is a simplified version of the complex solution, and it presents the most important conditions which cannot be left out from any solution. And finally, our intermediate solution is a part of the complex solution, and it includes the parsimonious solutions too. It includes only theoretically plausible counterfactuals. So therefore, the scholars, they suggest us to report the intermediate solution. And that is why actually I picked these four sufficient configurations. Finally, we need to report the core and peripheral conditions in a configuration. The core conditions appear in both parsimonious and intermediate solution, and the conditions that are eliminated in the parsimonious solution and appear only in the intermediate solution, they are called as peripheral condition. If we just take one example, the environment, lack of MC, maintenance cost, and PSB is present in our parsimonious solution, and the same configuration is applied in the intermediate solution as well. So in this case, these three conditions all are core. However, if you look at the absence of MC and the presence of PSB and safety, so absence of MC, presence of PSB, and safety. So these three are available or common in this solution. However, the resale value is not present in the parsimonious solution. Therefore, the resale value is a peripheral condition for that configuration. Yeah, and that is all about the sufficient configuration test in our fsQCA. Thanks for listening. Bye.